So guys, what's going on? Like, there's been a lot of talk about this Crawford Brook fight, right? And I'm gonna surprise a lot of you guys here because I don't give Kell Brook much of a chance of winning that fight, but I do think Kell Brook has a greater chance of winning than Amir Khan. I do think Kell Brook, if he lands one of those chocolate brownies, as he describes them, he could potentially have Crawford hurt. I've always wondered about Crawford's chin. And Kell Brook is a big welterweight. He's quite physically strong as well. Like, a big dude. Big dude. And I do think if Kell Brook was to land a solid shot on Crawford, looking at Crawford's frame, I do think Kell Brook could do a bit of damage. I do think it's a very small chance. It's probably below 10%, if I'm honest, of him winning that fight. But I do think there is a small chance. And I do think Kell Brook will go the distance. I'd be surprised if he gets stopped, if I'm honest. I'd be surprised. Maybe due to inactivity and maybe his stamina goes and the fact that he's had to make 147 may get him stopped later on in the fight. I do think if Kell Brook's going to win this fight, he's got to win by knockout. He's got to knock him out early. He's got to pounce on Crawford. Crawford is known as a slow starter. And if Kell Brook can pounce on him early, land a solid uppercut or land a solid right hand, who knows? But I do think if it goes past 4 or 5 rounds, I do think Crawford's going to start picking him apart and start punishing him, if I'm honest. I do think that. So Kell Brook is going to have to land something solid early on. And if he does land something solid early on, and Crawford has shown me that he gets hit. I thought he got hit quite a bit in the Khan fight, and I think the Kavalauskas landed on him quite a bit. He does get hit. Now, Khan and Kavalauskas don't have the punch power that Kell Brook has. And Kavalauskas hurt Crawford as well. He put him down. You know, most people thought that Crawford touched down. He should have been called for a knockdown, which it wasn't. Kell Brook definitely is a much bigger guy than Kavalauskas, and he's, in my opinion, a bigger puncher. So if he was to land on Crawford, it may be interesting. He's not as good a boxer as Khan in terms of winning rounds. So I do think Crawford would outbox him quite comfortably, especially after the first 3 or 4 rounds. I think it will be one-way traffic. I think Brook's best chance of winning the fight is by knockout. I think early on, Brook could land something solid, get Crawford's legs dancing, and maybe he may be able to pull off a shock upset. But again, I do think it's very minimal. Like I said, below 10%, because I do expect Crawford to ride out the storm and then start picking him apart later on. And I think Kell Brook, and the difference is Crawford's going to get better later and Brook's going to get worse later. That's the problem, because Brook, inactivity, him having to make weight, is all going to make him deteriorate at the back end of the fight. And Crawford's just going to get better and better and better. So that's the problem that Kell Brook's going to have in this fight. What I don't want is if this fight gets made and Kell Brook gets stopped or loses the fight, I don't want to hear any excuses about the weight. I don't want to hear any excuses about the weight, because Kell Brook, whenever he loses, it feels like there's always some excuse. I fought Golovkin, he was too big, and then come back down to 147, fight Errol Spence. Was confident that he was going to win and then blame the weight that he had to come down from 160. So please don't make any excuses about you having to come down and fight at 147, because I think people are going to see right through that now. So I think, again, if he gets beat, he'll just get beat because he'll get beaten by a better man, not because of the weight, not because of that. Because at the end of the day, you can stay at 154. If you don't feel you're going to feel comfortable at 147, you can fight at 154. There's Charlo, there's Harrison, there's that Rosario. There's guys there for 154. Fight them. Why fight Crawford? Fight the guys at 154 if you're that confident, you know. But don't make excuses about the weight. But leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video.